Hello, my name is Michael McBride. My testimony is not the most extravagant nor the most dramatic that you'll ever hear. However, it is a testament to the faithfulness of God to train and equip the saints for the call on their life and for the work of the cross. I was born and raised into the fires of the Brownsville Revival. My parents and grandparents both went to Pensacola, Florida, and sat under Steve Hill to experience it personally. They brought back the fires of revival to the tiny town in northwest Oregon that I grew up in. Subsequently, they began a semi-annual conference in which churches from the surrounding counties and even up into Washington state would gather together and join together in a time of powerful prayer, worship, and intercession. This was the atmosphere that I grew up in, an atmosphere of spiritual warfare, of charismatic worship, and of powerful intercession. I knew what it meant to be a disciple of God that was on fire and passionate from a very young age. I also grew up in a pastor's family, so I knew and understood the responsibilities and the sacrifices that often had to be made for the ministry. This all led up to the point when I was called myself at the age of 11 at one of the Going Up to High Places conferences. At the end of a particularly powerful worship service, I was pacing back and forth in the altars, and my dad sat on the front row as everyone else filtered out. Once it was just me and my father left, I went and sat next to him on the front row, and I said, "Dad, I'm called into the ministry. God called me to carry on the legacy of my father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. My grandfather, great-grandfather, and my father were all great ministers and patriarchs of the faith, and I am honored to be able to carry on the legacy that they have built. Everything that I've done up to this point, I am now almost 20 years old, has been to train and equip me for the call that God placed on me so many years ago. I am being mentored by my father, who is also my pastor here at our church in Santa Rosa, California, and I serve in various places in my church. I serve on the worship team, both at the guitar and at the drums. I serve in Encounter Kids, which I am doing this testimony in our Encounter Kids room. And I serve on the host team, otherwise known as the assimilation team, which greets and welcomes new guests. I also serve on the campus care team, which maintain the lawn and the campus, the building itself. And I major in ministerial leadership here at SEU, with the hopes that one day I will be able to go into full-time vocational ministry and fulfill the call that God has placed on my life to carry on the legacy set before me by my many generations of pastors.